We have seen a lot of interest and enthusiasm for the upcoming Katmai Coast game expansion that we announced a couple weeks ago. That's great to see. And a lot of discussion, a lot of questions. So I'm going to address a couple of those in today's devblog. First, a lot of people are using the term sea wolves. That's used to describe wolves who live along the coast of British Columbia on Vancouver Island, which is 3,000 kilometers or so from Katmai National Park. So that's a completely different location, completely different population of wolves than we're looking at in Katmai. And sea wolves are cool, they're very interesting, but we chose the wolves of Katmai for a variety of reasons. The beautiful location, the rugged coastline, being in Alaska, brown bears, and the primacy of marine mammals as the primary food for the wolves. This is a coastal lifestyle that they live. The Katmai Coast is not an archipelago. They're not swimming from island to island, which is good because wolves don't swim very fast. In the game, they actually swim a little faster than they do in real life. And even so, it would just get tedious if you had to swim around all the time from one island to another. So we can call these coastal wolves, but I wouldn't call them sea wolves. Another notable thing about the Katmai Coast is that it's very remote, no roads there, really only way to get there more or less is to fly. And the coastline is very isolated, even from the rest of Katmai National Park, because there's this long line of volcanoes. I got to fly up close on the slopes of one of them here above the game map. You can see this is not very navigable. And it's not just one or two volcanoes. This line of volcanoes extends all the way down the Aleutian Islands and actually continuing on, part of the ring of fire that circles the Pacific. And this wall of mountains, it mostly blocks access to this coastal strip. And so a few animals have wandered their way here in enough numbers to establish a population, bears and wolves being the two big ones, but animals that live elsewhere in Katmai National Park, like caribou and even coyotes, they haven't found the way along the few navigable routes to get here. Why haven't caribou done that? I don't know, ask the caribou. Now, Katmai is very far from Yellowstone National Park, and it's pretty implausible that a wolf from Yellowstone or the Rocky Mountains there would find its way up to Katmai. Very implausible. And for a long time, I just you can't move between the Yellowstone maps and Katmai. But with the saga out and you can play generation after generation, that's why we decided to allow moving between Lost River and the Yellowstone maps. It's just really confining and constraining to be stuck on one map. And so we are going to allow you to move between Katmai and the other maps. Still working on how to handle that, how to finesse it, but it's just one of those compromises that we finally decided was important to make for the long-term game experience. And finally, in case there was any uncertainty, this is going to be a DLC package that will cost money to buy. It's a game expansion, which means it's bigger than a DLC map, so it will cost more than a DLC map, but less than the price of the game. But we haven't yet landed on exactly what that price will be. So I hope that clarifies a few things, and we'll share more about the upcoming Katmai Coast game expansion in future devlogs. Oh, and, some people are wondering about those bighorn sheep. Whatever happened to that? Well, we have put a lot of work into them, and they are needing even more work. And it's turning out to be a lot of work for a pretty minor animal that only lives in a couple spots on some maps. So we haven't given up on it. We hope to figure something out, but for the time being, we have set it aside so we could focus on the Katmai Coast expansion.